and fire up my PowerPoint presentation, which you'll be pleased to know is only 6 or 7 slides. So, good morning and welcome. My name is Pete Gable from RPC, and I'm responsible for most of the stuff that goes on at RPC, including leading the training guys. And I'd also like to introduce you to Rachel Griffiths from Oracle. Say good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Rachel. Good morning, everybody.
So for those of you who know me or haven't heard of me, like I say, my name's Pete Gable. I'm an Oracle certified EPPM and Unifier specialist. And pretty much that sums up what RPC does. We do everything in the Primavera space. So that includes P6, Unifier, Oracle Primavera Cloud, risk analysis, and not just training. We can sell you a license, host it, integrate it, design it, build it, train it, and support it. So we can look after end-to-end on Primavera. Enough of the selling of me. So Rachel.
Hi, thanks, Peter. So I work for Oracle University as a principal sales consultant. My title is many and varied. Basically, my role is to make sure that our customers get the most appropriate learning in the most appropriate format. And I've spent 30 years in IT. I'm qualified as a technical instructor. I used to teach programming for a living some years ago, not for Oracle, but same sort of thing. So I have a passion for learning, so I get very excited when I talk about it.
Thank you, Rachel. So a quick overview of the agenda. I'm going to hand over to Rachel in a minute. Can you mute your microphones in the background there? That would be helpful. And Rachel's going to cover a couple of slides on the value of digital learning, the benefits and the overview of the delivery platforms, in particular training on demand and the learner subscriptions. Rachel will hand over to me and I'm going to briefly cover the training that can be offered. We've done 2 previous webinars looking at P6 Professional and P6 Web. This webinar is going to feature Unifier, and the 3 courses are available for Unifier. There will be a question and answer session at the end. So if you've got any questions, please post them on the chat. We'll take the questions at the end. And if there's anything as we go through, if you want to unmute and ask a question, please feel free to do so. So without further ado, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and Rachel, hand over to Rachel for a couple of slides on the benefits and the overview. Over to you, Rachel.
Thanks, Peter. Okay, so my slides should pick up exactly. Oh, hold on 1 second. There we go. Oh, I'm sharing you now, Peter. Hold on a second.
It's okay.
Let's do it this way. Oh, that one. There we go. And let's go into play. We don't need to see the beginning. Okay, are you seeing the digital learning benefits, Peter?
We are indeed. Thank you.
Blended. Thank you so much. Okay, so the first part is for me really to talk about the digital learning benefits, and I think right now, obviously, they are particularly relevant. But even outside of the current situation, learning digitally has so many additional benefits to sitting in a classroom. For me, it's you can tailor your learning experience, and by that I mean you can watch it whenever you want to. You may not be a morning person. I happen to be one, but I'm not great in the evenings. I tend to hit my slump in the evening, so anything after lunch is kind of a bit of a write-off for me. But if I can start at 5 a.m., that's perfect. So you can tailor your learning according to when is best for you. You don't have to commute, clearly. You can sit and take it in the comfort of your own space. You also get to watch this as many times as you need to. So you can review a topic many, many times. If there's one particular thing that's of interest, or there's something that you feel you just need to cover again, you couldn't continually ask an instructor to go over that again and again in a classroom environment. So tailoring it to your requirements, and also you're not dependent on a schedule. So when we run classes may not be aligned with your project kickoffs or your work schedule. So by doing it digitally, it's available again when you need it to be. Within our digital platform, you'll see that you have all of the benefits that you would get from a class-to-class, a face-to-face environment. So you still get the documentation, you still get the opportunity to practice, and you actually get that opportunity to practice extended because you have that 24/7 during your lab period. And I'll talk about that in a second. Our digital learning is always being updated. And once a digital purchase has been made, if we make an update to that during the time that you've purchased it, it will automatically get pushed to you. You don't have to repurchase that. You don't lose any of the content at all. You get exactly the same content that you would get in a classroom environment. So many people seem to think that it's a cut down version or anything like that. Peter will vouch for the fact that he stands up and records these and you get the full content. You lose nothing. In our subscriptions, which Peter's going to cover shortly, you can track your progress. And even in the training on demand areas, you've got an option. You can see exactly how far you've got through the course, and you can tailor it in the order that's relevant to you. We don't have a dynamic link to an instructor via our digital platform, but we do have a messaging environment built in. So that allows you to ask questions of an instructor in the same way that you would within a classroom environment. We're not throwing it out to you and just saying, get on with it. We are giving you that contact point, and our instructors are given a 48-hour turnaround. The message is directed to the most appropriate pool of instructors according to the course that you're taking. That may well end up with Peter, it may end up somewhere else, but basically you're not on your own. We have three real different areas where digital delivery comes into it. So one that I've already talked about here is the training on demand. That is a specific course which is recorded, as I said, and it's just that course content that you're getting. The two other options here, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but basically we provide a bundle of learning in the form of a subscription. Now, a subscription is available to you for 12 months, whereas a training on demand course is available to you for 90 days. 12 months is a long time, but you're getting a huge amount of learning in a subscription. So this is all the digital learning that we have for a given product area, a given solution, or that's relevant to a given industry. And as I say, Peter's going to talk about those shortly. Now I'm going to open up a training on demand so you can get a see and feel of what it's like. Correctly, Peter.
Say that again, sorry, Rachel.
Are you seeing the Primavera Unifier TOD now, or has it stopped sharing?
No, it stopped sharing.
Okay, let me go back and try sharing again. It doesn't maintain. I've lost the share. I've lost it completely. Bear with me 1 second. Let's see if I can find it. Right, let's reshare. Here we go. And let's go to, interesting, that one. And let's go to there. Now are you seeing the right thing?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you.
Rehearsals went so smoothly as well, Rachel.
I know. I don't know why it's not behaving. Anyway, so this is what it looks like when you access your digital training. And this is, as we're focusing on Unifier today, we're going to have a look at Unifier training on demand. You can see at the top here that it's 9.5 hours worth of content. And across the top here, you can do a number of different options. You can provide feedback. If there were a certification and as part of your learning portal, you would get that. You can see a progress report, and you can also do a video search. If we come down a little bit further, on the left-hand side, we can search the entire course for a given phrase, topic, or subject, and that would then narrow down the chapters that are shown below to only those that display that search criteria. Underneath your search, you've got all of the chapters that you would cover through the course, and this is a big course. Now they're in a logical order. There's no requirement to take them in that order. If you just specifically need to go and look at statuses or structures, you can start anywhere that is appropriate for you. So I might decide that I want to talk about structure summary, which is not easy for me to say. I'm just going to pop that on mute for a second. So what you'll see here is a video of the instructor plus the slides, and if there is a whiteboard used, you'll get visibility of that as well. Before we go into the...
There, Rachel.
Sorry?
Who is that handsome person that you're showing?
Well, you know, it's lucky you ask that. I know that man. It's a beautiful pose you have there, Peter. So underneath all of the chapters, these are your resources available. So you've got your lab environment, and you can book your lab by simply clicking on the button and requesting to schedule your lab. Now, it will take a wee minute to come up and tell me what dates are available. We do request that you book them in advance so that we've got time to spin up environments according to the course that you're doing. So if you want to book a course, a lab for next week, you'd need to submit the request by the end of today. A lab is a sandpit environment. So it's set up with all of the relevant software. You don't need to license anything. You don't need to download anything. It's all done via a virtual machine that we create and you access via the internet. Peter's going to talk about it a little bit more, I think, in the subscriptions. And you just book those in advance. Now, the thing that's mainly different between a training on demand and a subscription, other than the amount of content, is that within a training on demand, you will just get one access to a lab. A lab lasts for 6 days. So it will be started up on a Monday morning and it will close down at the end of Saturday evening. During those 6 days, you do have 24/7 access to it. So once you've submitted your request, you'll get an email back saying these are your credentials, and once you've got that, you just come to item 3 here and you pop in your credentials in that area. If you have any issues with the lab, we have a dedicated support team who purely look after our digital environment labs, and they have a 1-hour response team. So should you have any difficulties at all, either activating it, requesting it, finding it, anything like that, if you open a support ticket, that team will be onto the case and they'll get back to you within an hour. You also get access to the student guides, so the course manuals and course notes. You'd find those in a PDF format. And again, there's a difference here in that with a single course, we do allow the download of that PDF. Within a subscription format, you would not be able to download the notes. And we pop that down. And then finally at the bottom is our Ask the Instructor messaging platform. And as you can see, the top part there is already populated, so it knows what course you're doing, it knows who you are, and it knows your email address, because you would need to log in your Oracle account to access this. You then populate your question, which is any question you like relating to the content that's being delivered. If you want to send 1 a day, 10, build them up at the end of a lab, send them all in one go, makes no difference. There's no limit to the number of questions you can ask. And as I say, they'll be directed to an appropriate pool of instructors with a 48-hour response time. If we come down a little bit further and we put the lovely Peter into full motion. Yep, that's definitely Peter. As soon as we play the course, you'll notice that you get subtitles pop up. Now, I don't need subtitles to understand Peter's accent. We do have other instructors who are more heavily accented, So we do provide that as an option if that's useful for you. You have the usual mechanisms for watching, so you can speed the video up, you can go full screen. If you've got HD capabilities, you can do that, and you can obviously pause, mute, and you can see exactly how far through the video you are. Underneath, you've got a quick overview, so you can see, oh, this is the topics we're going to cover. The next bit, which is my favorite piece, is the transcript. So this is a word for word, and hopefully you can see that following along in blue. As Peter is talking, you've got a word for word transcript of what he's saying. So that really negates the need for the subtitles, which take up space on the screen. You can actually follow along in the transcript. What's also useful, I'm just going to pause Peter for a second, is that you can search this text. Now, I might be looking for a particular phrase around, let's just say the word process, and it will highlight everywhere that word appears in the text, in the entire transcript. And it also highlights it on the video bar here. So I don't have to scroll backwards and forwards looking for something in a video, because I can simply click on either one of those blue bars, or I can click on the word and it will take me to that part of the video. And I think that is an absolutely invaluable mechanism when coming to review a topic or something that you want to go over again. I think that really covers most of what I'd like to say around the digital platform that we have. And Peter, as I say, is going to talk about the learning.
Oh, just
Back to Peter.
Okay, thank you, Rachel, for that lovely overview. So let me just share my desktop. I'll come out of my PowerPoint here, and I'm going to take you into my session. So first of all, how do you find these learning subscriptions? Well, simply in Google, just type Unifier learning subscription, and top of the pile is the education.oracle.com, the Primavera learning subscription. If you wanted to search for a training on demand, obviously you would change that from a learning subscription to training on demand. Once you've found the link, then it'll take you to a page that looks like this. And I'm going to walk you through what we can do on here. And so I've logged in. So it says, hello, Peter. So it recognizes me. To access this, you would just need an Oracle account. So it's a free to do. So you just register with Oracle. This is my email address, and then you can log into your account. So on the home page here, this is telling us all about this particular learning subscription. So it's got the blurb about what the learning subscription is and how many hours we've got and the key training that we've covered. And I'm going to take you through, there's actually 3 courses in this learning subscription: the Unifier admin training, Unifier reports and dashboards, and UDesigner fundamentals training. So there's actually 3 courses bundled into one learning subscription. Whereas a training on demands there would be one training on demand course for admin, one training on demand course for reports, and one training on demand course for Unifier fundamentals. So this learn subscription is split by job roles. So I can see that if you're an administrator or a developer or a reports developer, these are for you. So we can see this by job role. We can see the topics that are in this particular learning subscription. So there's a sample of the topics here. It's quite a long list, as you mentioned earlier. We've also split this into learning paths. So we split this into fundamentals and reports and dashboard. And there's a skills learned. So this is the skills that you will learn by running through this learning subscription. The other big benefit of this is, and I'm going to come back to the price in a second, you might have seen that, but if you take this learning subscription and you do those 3 courses, then that will qualify you to take the Unifier Cloud Implementation Specialist exam. Normally there is a charge of I think it's £194. So if you're already Unifier savvy, you can jump straight in here and just take the exam, and that will cost you £194, and then you would be an implementation specialist. I'll put my teeth back in. So, but with the learning subscription, this certification, the cost of this certification is included in the price. And as you can see, the price is displayed here. It's £788 plus VAT. And this gives you, for each user, 1 year of access to all these 3 courses. So I'm going to take you through some of the content of this. So for this price, 788, it includes the certification as well. So you're saving at least £194 by doing the course, and then you can do the certification. So the learning subscription, access to the content 24/7, and this is available for 1 year. Oracle expert instruction, and I'm far too modest to say that I'm an Oracle expert, but I did all the recordings for these courses in Reading about 18 months ago. So, and they were then put into training on demands, and then we bundled them together into a learning subscription. You also get access to the hands-on lab exercises, and as Rachel mentioned, the difference here is you get more than one access to the labs, and you also get access to the labs for 1 year, and there's also an instructor Q&A. So if that's what you get for £788. You get these 3 courses and a voucher to do the certification, like I say, which normally costs nearly £200. So if I just go into preview, and then this will be very similar to what Rachel was showing when we get into the nitty-gritty of it. So on this screen here, we've split this screen. So first of all, you can search by role, whether you're an administrator, a developer, or a reports developer, and then clicking on one of these will then filter the learning path that you need to do. So what I'm saying is, if you're a developer, you'll need this learning path. If you're a reports developer, you'll need this learning path. If you're an administrator, you'll need this learning path. So there's not as many learning paths roles in this as there are in the P6 subscriptions, but we've tried to narrow it down. You can also display by what's new, and we've also got some free content, and you can display this either by a learning path or a course. So we can I'll just clear the filters for now. There it is. So that's both the learning paths there. And if I scroll down, then you'll see the 3 courses that are available with this learning subscription now listed here. So this is the Unifier U-Designer Fundamentals, then Reports and Dashboards, and then Unifier Administration. So you'll get access to these 3 courses for a period of 12 months. So if I just take you through one of these courses and the outline and what you're going to learn, if I just dive into the U-Designer. So again, this is a very similar approach to how the training on demand is made. So very similar approach. So we've got a list of all the topics. And as Rachel also mentioned, you can also just dive into any of these topics. You don't have to start at the beginning. You can, see what shells is all about by jumping in here. You can go back to structures up here. Obviously, we put these in a sequence that we would recommend that would follow this in this manner. That's what we would recommend. But then if you did get to another topic and you wanted to go back and refresh your memory on structures or statuses, because it's mentioned in a subsequent topic, then you can do so. You can just jump in and out of any topic that you wish. As you do the topics, you'll notice, well, I've managed 1% progress over here. So it keeps an overall progress tracker of how you're doing on the course. And again, if I just scroll down, if I just start this module. So yeah, so this is all about the Unifier data action. So I'll mute that. So I'm typing in things in here, and I'm recommending that when you do the lab, you'll do exactly the same as this. So I'm not just talking PowerPoint here. I'm talking why you would do this, and also, of course, in the transcript, a bit more of a detail. So every word that I say is captured in the transcript here. And as Rachel mentioned, a really neat feature is to be able to search the video for a particular item. So exactly the same kind of approach as the training on demand. So this is the course. I'll come back to which course you should do and why you should do it in a second. We've also got the same 3 items under resources here, so we can request a lab. Yeah, we can schedule a lab, and the same as before, you have to schedule it by the Thursday of the previous week. Pick a time, and then you get access to that lab. But unlike the training on demand, you get this lab for 24/7 for a year, not just a one-off. So you submit your lab. Once you've got your email, then you put your credentials in here to access your lab. Yeah, I can't do that until I've actually submitted it, but that's where you would schedule your lab, and then when you've got the email saying your lab is ready, you would access your lab. And the lab, as Rachel mentioned, it is a sandpit area where you can first of all play back a particular lesson, and then when the lesson ends, let's pick the one we're in here. This is structures. There's practice. At the end, I want practicing. There it is. So there's an activity, sorting record status. So it's only a 2-minute video, but what I'll be doing there is saying, now do the lab, and in this lab you're going to sort record status orders, or in this lab you're going to create record statuses. So you'd watch the lab, you'd watch the recording, then you would go to the lab, and you would then carry out the lab in your environment. And at the end of it, hopefully you've got the same screen as I finished up with, and you've created, in this case, some basic data definitions or modified some data definitions, record status or whatever it might be. So that's where we do the chalk and talk at the beginning of the topic. So statuses and status summaries. That's what the topic's all about. Then these activities are where you get hands-on to actually do the lab itself. So you can practice, just learn. You'll also see there is a student guide. You can actually download them from here, Rachel. So I think you can do that with this. So this is you'll get a PDF for the student guide. The student guide for the UDesigner fundamentals, or reports and dashboards, or the administration. So you can download the manual, and there's also the Ask the Instructor messaging forum. So as Rachel mentioned, also this will go directly to Oracle. There is a pool of qualified experts who, if they can answer the question, they will. Unless it's something specific and they can't, then it gets forwarded onto me, and I've got a 48-hour turnaround to answer the question. And the kind of questions might be, I've typed this in, I've followed the text of the video, I'm doing the lab, but I'm not getting the same results. Am I doing something wrong? Or I was expecting to see this, or now I've done this lab, how does that relate to something else, another topic? So the question can be, far-reaching and quite wide, however you want to put questions in. So you get the messaging capability as well. So in terms of the structure, you'll see this is slightly different to the P6 courses. I don't know if anybody joined the P6 webinars. The P6 courses tend to build on a project. So we started with a project, and then we built the WBS, built activities, relationships, logic, resources, and all that. So it went through a fairly defined sequence. Now, in the Unifier one, because Unifier in the real world is, for a lot of customers, it's what is Unifier? And the answer to that is, well, it can be whatever you want it to be. Unifier is a platform, and when it arrives, it's got some basic business processes in, and you can use those out of the box. But generally, the business processes are defined from the beginning, and not from an existing business process. So what this takes you through is how to build up the data definitions, for example. So I want to create a business process for booking hotel rooms or whatever it might be. So we need a form that we're going to enter the details of that booking in. So we need to create some data definitions. What type of date pickers do we need and what data elements do we need? So although this might be related to a particular BP or business process that we're building, the knowledge that you'll learn can be applied to any business process that you might want to create in the future. So again, as with the P6 learning subscriptions, if you can follow the lab and you'll get the same output as I create here, you will also get the opportunity to say, well, I'll tell you what, I want to create a little business process that does something different. So I need some different data definitions or a different form or a different business process, be a different workflow. So because you've got access to that lab, you can create your own business process, if you like, based on the knowledge that you've just now built, you've now gained by looking at what the data structures are and what UDesigner does, how to create form and workflow and all that kind of thing. So it does give you the ability to create your own BPs as well as follow the text in the manual to come up with your particular requirements, if you like. And as I said, in P6, the requirements are generally planning. I need to put a plan together, and we can make a generic plan fit a number of industry types. Whereas Unifier is a lot more specific to customer requirements. So we recognise that, and you're able to try, practice, have a go at something else. Hopefully, you'll follow the script suggested here. That'll give you all the information you need, and then you can do it. So there is also, as we go through, there's also case studies, and these case studies, you can see it's only a 2-minute recording, but when you do the case study, it could possibly take you, 4 or 5 hours. So the case study will be 3 or 4 pages in the manual, and the case study might be to build a new BP, so you have to create some data definitions, create a form, an upper form, a lower form, create some logic links to it, build a workflow, whatever it might be. So the case study will use everything that we've learned up to this point, and then you can do the case study, and that is detailed in the manual. And at the end of it, the final page in the manual says, now you've done your case study, it should look like this. And that's when you can give yourselves a big tick in the box and say, yep, I've completed that. And you've completed that case study. There's a couple of case studies, I believe, here. There's another case study at the end. Yeah, and then, like I say, there's sizes all the way through. So Unifier is slightly different, is it doesn't follow quite the logical process that P6 does, because, like I say, it's very unique as Unifier. It's a very bespoke platform for a lot of customers. So for me, UDesigner Fundamentals, this is the course that you would do to build a BP from scratch. You want to build a business process, would follow the topics in here, and at the end of this course, you would be able to go away and build a BP. The other courses that are in here are the this is the admin course. So I'll just show you the topics that are in the admin course. So this, if you're not going to be a system administrator, then you don't need to do this course. But even so, it might be worth running through this course just to see what is involved and what you can and what you can't do in terms of user administration, data structure setups, giving permissions, and all that kind of thing. So from an administration point of view, it's a fantastic course to see not only the front end of how to build a Unifier business process in UDesigner, but how the administrator can administer it. So we show you a brief summary of one of these. So this is how the data structure setup is. The overview. I started at the end, so we should start at the beginning. Yeah. So again, all the topics follow exactly the same format. You've got subtitles if you wish. You've got a transcript. You've got an overview, and all this course is to do with how Unifier is administered in in a company. This is the one that also covers workflow setup, so how to create a workflow and how to modify it and create user privileges to enable the workflow to be sequenced and started from a user point of view. So that's the admin course. The final course that you will get included in this is the reporting course. And again, this is the reports and dashboards. Let's dive into there. And again, how this is, so you've done the UDesigner fundamentals. That's where I would start with this. You were doing this learning subscription. Then you would do the admin course to see how it's all configured in terms of user access and setting things up. And then finally, you want to start getting some reports out of the system. So we show you how to create tabular reports and cross-tab reports, alert reports, updating shells, and all of that. Dashboards. So again, a lot of content just on reports and dashboards. Again, backed up by a case study. So it might be a 2-minute video. It says, right, turn to page, whatever it is in the manual, look at the case study and have a go. That's when you would request the lab, and you'd have the lab open, maybe on one screen. If you've got 2 screens, it's always better. Then you can follow the PDF on one screen and follow the lab on another screen. So it's say, you'll have to just remember, because obviously you've learned what to do. But then follow the case study to create a report. That might be a dashboard or an org report or whatever it might be. Again, you've got the student guide, so you can download the PDF of the student guide. Now, I'm just about wrapped up, but one thing just to know, just to tell you is that this was all recorded using Primavera release 17 of Unifier. Now, it has moved on quite a bit now, and we're actually, the latest release is release 20. There are a few of our customers that are already on release 20. Generally, and it's fair to say that the concepts that you will learn with this learner subscription haven't changed. So what you will learn using release 17 is still valid for if you were using Unifier 18, 19, or 20. The thing that has changed is a bit of the navigation. So there are some new features as well added in. There's a firm value module, which is not included in release 17, obviously. 20. So there are some navigation features and some other application features that are added into release 20. Personally, I might be speaking out of turn here, I would suggest that I need to go back and record release 20. When that course becomes available, that's something I'll be exploring with our friends at the university, and then we can create another learner subscription, maybe the same courses or maybe slightly different. But I wouldn't let that put you off. If you want to learn about Unifier, I wouldn't let, you know, you wait for that. You don't need to wait for that. Like I said, the concepts of release 17 still valid. So how to build data definitions and workflows are very much the same. It's just a slightly different navigation. And like I say, there are a couple of features in release 20. So I'm about done. I've got a couple of things just to cover off in terms of questions, and then if there's any questions being posted, I'll take those. So these are the typical questions that we get asked. What are the minimum IT requirements? Well, basically, if you're logged into this webinar, then you've got the minimum IT requirements. You just need a PC or a laptop with an internet connection. You don't need a webcam. You do need obviously a sound player, so put some speakers in. So no complicated setup. Don't need to install any software. Everything's done, as Rachel mentioned, on the virtual machines. When you request the lab, you'll get access to Unifier, give it a username and login to Unifier, and you'll get the full suite that's required to be able to do that. no downloads, no license required, no install software. If you want to order a learner subscription, well, you can do it directly from the page that I was just showing you there. You can just click the Buy Now page, and they'll that request credit card details. The order will be processed. Generally, from taking an order to processing it and getting a login is around about 48 hours, so 2 days. We did successfully sell a couple of learner subscriptions after the last 2 webinars, and within 2 days, people were up and running and on the actual subscription. Now, you can order it direct from Oracle by clicking on the Buy Now button. But what I would suggest is if you are interested in buying either a learning subscription or training on demand, give the office a call at RPC, because occasionally we do offer a slight bit of discount here and there, or there might be some added features that we can tell you about. So if you are wishing to purchase, by all means click the Buy Now button. But I would recommend you come to us first. We'll sell you it probably at the same price. Might be some discounts going. We can process that order. So, have we got any questions come through from anyone? I haven't been following the chat there.
Peter, can I just quickly jump in for 1 second?
Yes, of course you can.
Thank you. So when we talked about the downloading of manuals, so you can access the manuals in obviously both the subscription and the training on demand. They're absolutely visible, but within a training on demand, you can physically download them. With a learning subscription, you cannot.
Right. Thank you for clarifying that. So if you want to unmute a microphone and ask me any questions, I'm ready to take any questions.
There's a couple in the chat, one from Nitin.
Yes. Hi, Pete. I've written down in the chat, but yeah, let me just ask you. So I have already taken up this course and finished it, and I think I dropped you a message on LinkedIn that it was a wonderful course.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as a next step, I would like to find a course for myself where I can find out the logic between the out-of-the-box business process. There are around 44, 48 business processes, and I would like to know how are they interrelated, what drives the other one. So how does the cash flow work? So these are the kind of things which I'm looking forward to.
Okay, so on that particular topic, what we're doing, and I didn't mention this, is we will be adding additional content into the free area in this learning subscription. So, like I said, as new features arrive, and I've taken this question down as well, I'm recording occasional material. I've already added some occasional material into the P6 learner subscription. So different things about how to do something that's not covered in the training. So what you just mentioned there is how do these BPs how are they put together? How do they relate to each other? That could be something that I could quite easily do as a little video and add it into the free content that keeps this learning subscription fresh and updated. So it might be what's new, it might be a particular question like you've just posted there. So I'll take that question away with me. So great question, thank you. Something we'll be looking at.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I've answered a couple in the chat surrounding new lessons being added to the subscription. So yes, we do add anything that's relevant to the topic in a subscription. If there's a re-recording of a topic due to a later version, anything like that, it would automatically be pushed out to you during the lifetime of that subscription.
Correct.
And the other one was around labs. So yes, you can have as many labs as you wish during the duration of your subscription. You cannot have 2 labs for 2 different courses running during the same week though. You must have 1 lab per week, and you would need to rebook for a subsequent lab. So if you want to do the lab again, you absolutely can. you would need to rebook it. They don't run continually, so you get them for 6 days at a time. They automatically shut down, and then you would rebook.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Is there any other questions out there? Okay, so I'll wrap this up now. So I'd like to say thank you very much to Rachel and your team at Oracle for helping us put this webinar together. We're very proud.
Pleasure.
Yeah, we're very proud of our relationship with Oracle. Everything we do, we do it with you. I think there's a song title in there. So we're very proud to work with Oracle and Oracle University, and so having your presence, Rachel, has really helped. We will be sending a link out as soon as I press the stop record button. Teams magically creates a recording, and then Russ in the background there will be uploading the video recording to our YouTube channel. And so if there's anything you missed or you want to replay, or if someone registered and didn't get a chance to watch it the first time round, they're able to do so the second time round. Like I say, if you want to get in touch with us, the office number's on the screen now, or you can visit our website at rpc.uk.com or drop an email to enquiries@rpc.uk.com. We monitor that, and obviously for the registration purposes, hopefully you all got that in timely fashion. And on that note, I would like to say thanks again to Rachel, thanks to Oracle, and thank you for attending. I hope you found it useful, and I hope to see you in another webinar on another topic on another day. Have a great day. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Peter.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.